So he filled me in already a little bit on this guy. So we have the leash reactivity, right? When he sees dogs, he has prey drive. And then also it sounds like if
Sit.
whoever's holding him in your family,
Sit.
he will guard from other members of the family.
Sit. Simon.
Is that correct?
Sit.
He's had
Good
some
boy.
basic obedience from before. She's just around a year. You got him around 3 to 4 months.
Yeah, he's about a year and a half.
Okay.
Simon, sit.
So go ahead and fill me in. Tell me your side of the story.
Those are the highlights. I would say one of the biggest challenges we've had is someone coming into our home, even just our parents who don't live with us, but strangers, people coming over, where the barking and the de-escalation is very, very slow, if at all.
Sit.
So certainly that's problematic for people coming to our home. We live in a high rise, so the other aspect that we're really dealing with is every sound he hears, he just barks. He's gotten better. We have a technique with place, and
Sit.
we've worked
Simon,
with that quite
sit.
a bit. It's better,
Sit.
but it's still very present. We do have the door gated off
Stay.
as much as we could, just so he doesn't get close to the door, so that it's audible, and also he has escaped.
Okay.
So
when like you guys are entering or exiting?
yeah, when it's not intended.
Okay.
So now we have a gate near the door that we utilize. I think the other, Res Ross mentioned, the biggest issue is on walks. I mean, just not friendly to dogs. And we've tried, I don't know if it's exposure therapy. Our current trainer we've done passes, we've done as much as we could trying to get him close. He's best across the street.
Okay. That's his threshold.
Distance.
Okay.
And he sometimes he'll see a dog and it'll look like he's gonna, and then he just loses it and he just wants to bite them.
Yeah. Is it like positive reinforcement training currently?
Yes.
Okay. Clicker?
No.
Not
Just treats.
is it- yes,
Just
marker
treats.
and treats.
Yeah.
Okay. No corrections?
No.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you're not sure if you're correcting, chances are you're
No, I'm not. I mean,
Yeah, it's very much, every time he does something good, give him a treat.
Yeah.
So it's like 100 treats.
and then we've been cutting back on that because he's doing, you
Simon,
know.
sit.
Yes.
Sit.
Anything else about him that I should know?
No, I mean, he's very smart.
What I've been told is smart, curious, anxious,
He is a good looking.
and he's cute. So people want to approach him, which
I
is
don't
actually,
say that a lot either.
it's just very
I'm the
difficult.
tough trainer that's like, but like he's a cute little
People
guy.
are like, they think he's
Simon.
so cute, and he's just,
Simon,
you
sit.
know, rabid after they try to approach
Sit.
him. We've also noticed that
Nice
looming
boy.
and coming from behind
Nice
him
boy.
is not welcomed.
Stay.
Yeah. Okay.
Which doesn't surprise us, but
Yeah.
that's been the other. So
Stay.
I think that's overall. Otherwise, I mean, his eating, his potty habits. I mean,
He's
done,
okay. Sometimes he has
His potty habits are about 90%. He's pad
When do you
trained.
notice a mistake?
You know, sometimes when we're gone and we come back.
Okay.
The other thing is he's
Stay.
chosen a spot in our primary bathroom
Okay.
that just seems to be like
Simon.
a fun spot for him. And
Is it like a rug or something?
it's on the tile.
Stay.
No, fine.
And I know exactly when he does it. He runs in front of me and he runs away. And I'm
Simon,
like,
I didn't
know what
release
he's
you.
doing.
I know you're going. Yeah.
So
Stay.
Is he neutered?
Sit.
yes,
He is.
He was neutered at 6 months.
Stay.
Okay, so he's been neutered for a while. Okay. How long would you say when you're gone? Like, is it like if we're gone longer than 4 hours, we know we're coming back?
No, like
the next
days.
day?
No, like days.
And that didn't happen last time, did it?
It's just one of the issues we have where
Yeah.
sometimes he
Okay.
does that. He is on anti-anxiety medication.
Okay.
He has been since November of last year.
Okay. 'Cause he's anxious right now.
I wouldn't say
I
I've
don't know if
I
the
wouldn't say
medicine
I've
does.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
but it was one trainer recommended it. I tried the
Yeah.
calming powder. So here we are. So the trainer we've had most recently has been the most helpful, but we just know that he's
Nice
still really
boy.
struggling.
Okay. So when you say that you're gone for days, right? Who's watching him during?
My
the day?
mother.
Your mother? Okay. Does she catch the mistakes at all, or what's his routine like when with her? Does she take him out
Well,
three
I
times a
mean,
day?
she's old, so they just sit there and watch TV all day, and he loves it.
He's a great lap dog with her. She does not walk him.
Okay.
He
Does
is.
he use a potty pad or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He's primarily pad trained.
I see.
He
Sit.
does actually. He does not ever go outside to the bathroom because
Yeah, he won't.
won't.
Okay.
Which is strange. Our other ones would.
Is that something you're trying to address?
I mean, it'd be nice if he went outside.
Do you have like a little outside thing where you
No.
have?
Oh.
Like, oh, so this is all inside.
Yeah.
I mean, we can walk him outside, of course, but there's not access directly to outside.
Okay. Because I've had some clients, like if they're in the high rise, they'll have the little like ledge,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah,
like,
no, we don't
they'll
do
have
that.
It's
like a
illegal.
potty set up.
Yeah, we can't
Nope.
do
We can't.
I gotcha. Okay. But not really a priority for you.
No.
No.
Okay.
He's good on the pad. Like, he gets up in the morning, so it's,
Yeah.
Excuse the barking. Do you guys know, you ever been on the CTA train ever?
Oh, yeah.
Do you ever see the guys walking around with the dogs?
Yeah.
Those are my neighbor's dogs. And he's running our back space. So that really high pitched bark you hear right now
Yeah.
is one of his
Oh, okay.
dogs. Our
Okay.
side is primarily quiet. You'll hear
Okay.
the occasional bark. Like we got like 35, 40 dogs here today, and they're all
Oh,
like
wow.
in that room right there. Our kennel room's right there. Behind that wall is a closet, but then that's where the space opens up into what you see in the top camera there.
Got it.
But people are always like, "Do you have dogs here?" I'm like, "Yes." It's quiet here. So nothing on that scene before. I know you said you had 2 previous Chihuahuas that are like worlds apart from this guy, right? And the biggest thing that I'm hearing is that you have a very drivey Chihuahua, who's also very territorial.
Yeah.
Which is not uncommon with Chihuahuas. I think the first 2 you guys just lucked out on. My
Yeah.
Chihuahua is like this guy.
That's
He's
what
the
we've
same
heard.
personality type. Yes. Okay. So the barking whenever he hears sounds and stuff is part of the territorial behavior. Of course, when you pick him up and then another family member approaches and he starts to growl or whatever, that is a part of the territorial behavior as well. Technically speaking, his reactivity could be prey-driven. It could also be territorial, right? Because again, if he will possess one family member from another family member, it's the same thing when you're walking outside and he sees a dog approaching. It's the same thing he's just protecting.
Yeah.
And he feels it's his. Okay. Some anxiety, yes. Like I can see him shaking right now. This shaking could be the stress of the new environment. He was panting heavily earlier, which shows me anxiety, but he looks to be more relaxed now. The shaking could also be with these smaller dogs. Like in here, it's like fairly comfortable, but for little guys like him, it can be cold. Like my Chihuahua my dogs will be completely fine, and he'll just be sitting there shivering. So he's got a sweater when we keep it a little bit cooler for us in the summertime, but it's too cold for him. Okay, but even if this is due to stress, like you see that lip lick right there,
Yeah.
that's a stress response. Okay, and there's a little bit of whining as well.
Yeah.
That is all I would say normal. It's at some point. Every animal, every human is going to feel nervous, is going to feel fearful, is going to feel anxious, is going to feel angry at some point in their life, right? The issue is some dogs, it happens more often, right? Like I get dogs that are anxious for the tiniest things, and I go, that's where it becomes a problem, okay? Or if I get dogs like that are reactive to every little thing, obviously that's a problem. My pit Lexi, she's 16 years old now. In the 16 years that I've had her, she's had like 5 random reactive moments that are a blink of an eye in 16 years, right? So it's obviously not a problem, and I'm like, all right, she's not perfect, but 5 times in 16 years is like nothing. I get clients that they can't walk their dog, they see reactivity so much. So in terms of his behavior, part of the problem is that no one has corrected him. Okay, so positive reinforcement training is great for things you want to see again. So if you say sit and he sits, you want to see that again. You would reward that, right? But then there's also a problem with that is,
you hear that he just growled at her. Yeah.
a little bit. And that's just territorial.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not worried about that. There's like that I'm okay with because that's a new person walking into the space. He's kind of just going like, I see you, like just letting her know. Like that's okay. But when it's like a family member approaching another family member and they happen to be holding him and he's growling at them, like that would like not be okay, right?
But if this was a smaller space and our space, this would go on for 2 hours, and it would be barking and growling.
And that we can correct.
That's what I'm saying. Like that
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was a passing, like
Yes.
this just
He doesn't let it go.
no.
Yeah. Is the problem with positive reinforcement, even like let's say if you say sit earlier, you had him sit, right? And then after 5 seconds he got up, and then you said sit again, and after like 3 seconds he got up, and then some time passed, and then you said sit again, and then he sat down, then he got up again 3 seconds later, and then we kind of just left it at that, right? Is if I tell a dog to sit, technically speaking, it's indefinite, right? So if I say sit and 30 minutes go by, the expectation is the dog sits for 30 minutes. Now, would I make a dog do that? No, because physiologically, the way their body is built, sitting, especially like with a Great Dane or a bigger dog, is uncomfortable, which is why a lot of dogs will opt to lay down, right? So if I needed the dog to sit still for a period of time, I instead would tell him to lay down and or place, which you guys obviously are familiar with, right? Because those are what we would call extended use commands. But in the moments where he broke the sit, there was no correction for breaking the sit. And that's why there's no incentive to keep the sit, if that makes sense, right? So let's say a dog got in, Simon?
Yes.
Let's say a dog got into Simon's personal space, right? Right up to his face. What do you think Simon would do to that dog?
Bite him.
Bite him, okay? What do you think he's communicating with that bite?
Get away.
Get away. That would be a correction, right? Now, depending on the context of it, there's a difference between like aggression and corrections, right? Let's say he's present with another dog and he's tolerating that dog. They're coexisting. He's not bothering with them, he's ignoring them or whatever, he's just minding his business. That's social, that's coexistence, right? And let's say that dog came to approach him to sniff and then Simon snapped at that dog. Most people would go, oh, he's aggressive,
Yes.
right? And I go, or he's just setting a boundary. You know, the dogs and humans, we have a lot of similarities, but there's going to be some differences, right? He doesn't have the capacity to say, don't come and sniff me. Does that make sense? Whereas a human
Sure.
could say, don't approach me, please,
Yeah.
right? Now, if that, let's say we said, don't approach me, the person we said, don't approach me to continue to approach, now we may feel threatened, right? And then we may back away, trying to alleviate the situation. Hey, stop right there, blah, 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 blah. If that continues, possible escalation
Right.
to confrontation, right? But we would have all that. Dogs don't. They have like the growl. If the dog ignores the growl, then he's like, okay, well, that didn't work. And if the dog continues to do something he disagrees with, he might do an air snap to warn. If the dog ignores that, then he's gonna go, well, maybe I'm just gonna bite you now because you've ignored the first two, right? So we always have to look at the context of things. So now we got the anxiety again, right? With the heavy panting, this is okay.
Our other ones used to do that. Lucas did that all the time.
Is that making sense there?
Yeah.
So
He goes just from 0 to 6. I mean, that's his only
Yeah, he jumps to
communication
a
is what
higher
you're
number.
telling us. And he
Yeah.
goes from 0 to 60.
And the issue is because of his drive,
Okay.
is he's always at like
Yeah.
a stimulated level.
He's vibrating a lot.
Yeah, so then it takes a little bit to just push him to the next stage. Whereas if I have like my Chihuahua, and when I got my Chihuahua, very similar to your Chihuahua in terms of behavior, leash reactivity, all that stuff, is now it takes him much more before he would get to that stage.
So they became more tolerant.
Yes, they learn to, how do you say, tolerant, accept like, okay, I'm going to
Tune
see
some
dogs.
things out or-
Exactly, right?
But he seems to run like when he wants to run at the dog. Like he's going for them, they're not coming to him.
Yeah, but he's trying to protect.
Yeah.
That's how much he can tolerate. Like, yeah.
So when you said if they're across the street, he's fine. If I'm remembering
We've worked
correctly.
on that. Yeah. I mean, you know,
So-
has he seen the dog? Yes.
Yes.
And then we're working on. Okay. I mean, we've worked on kind of.
I did a long walk with him on whatever day it was. If he sees one, he starts going.
I have not had that experience, especially with a dog walker. So what I'm saying is we've been building up like that distance,
Correct.
but it's
We call it threshold.
right,
Yes.
and it's just
So like, let's say
very
the
little.
threshold's across the street. That means he can see them and he doesn't bother.
Well, but we need to move on.
Yes.
Like you have to disrupt him.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. So then if he's closer, then you see obviously the escalated behavior, right?
pulling. First, it's pulling.
Yes. And then you get the reactivity type
Correct.
stuff, right? Yep. So all that is fairly standard, okay? And this is why corrections are important.
Okay.
So in the dog training world, we have positive only trainers, and then we have trainers that only use punishment, and then we have what we call balance trainers, which is what I would do, which is I do everything.
Hybrid.
Right?
Okay.
It's if positive reinforcement has purpose, I will use it. If it doesn't have purpose, I won't use it. Corrections, in my opinion, always have purpose. Okay. A bulk of what people struggle with is the stuff they want to stop. Right. So like, let's say he wasn't leash reactive. Let's say he wasn't guarding you. Let's say he wasn't barking all the time, right? Like those are things that you'd want to stop. Chances are you wouldn't be here, right? It'd be
Right.
like, oh, like he's a good dog. Like I don't care if he breaks the sit because he doesn't try to lunge at dogs.
Correct.
He doesn't bark all the time, right? That's people's interpretation of what a good dog is very different than my interpretation, right? Most people are like the dog is friendly, they're social, they don't pull a whole lot, they don't bark all the time, they don't try to bite other dogs or people, right? I can pretty
Right.
much take them anywhere, and they have some obedience.
Yeah.
Right. That's the ceiling that most people have for their dog, right? Whereas for me, it'd be far greater than that. In terms
You're
for me-
gifted. The rest of
to-
us.
to-
can
to-
only do
yeah.
so much.
So, but that's what you're struggling with, right? You need to be able to
Yes.
stop the reactivity. You need to be able to stop the resource guarding. You need to be
Correct.
able to stop the excessive barking, right? Technically speaking, like the marking in the bathroom, that's also another two-stop behavior. Now that's different, that we can't really correct unless you catch them in the act, which is rare. That goes back to like potty training stuff, which is why I was asking, is that a concern
Yeah.
for you? Okay, so is that making sense now?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So technically speaking, right, even though he's only 5 pounds, if Simon did something to another dog, maybe it was an 80-pound lab, okay, that lab didn't like, what do you think that lab would do to Simon?
Bite him.
Bite him, right? But that's what people struggle with little guys like this, right? Is they go, well, how am I going to correct this dog that's only 5 pounds? Because we're thinking usually emotionally, right? The other thing is he is only 5 pounds. So I'll give you an example. My Chihuahua, pretty much the exact same type of dog, okay? He's 8 pounds. When I got him at a year, when he was a year. He was unneutered at the time, severely leash reactive. And at that time, I hadn't begun working with e-collar yet. I was still working on prong collar because I was building my skill set, okay? So they have what's called a micro prong, which is meant for a smaller dog like this. And he would be reactive. And have you seen a prong collar, the spiky looking one, on a dog before?
I think so.
They look like spikes, it's like a chain.
Yes.
Okay, so they're not spikes, they're rounded. They're meant to mimic teeth, okay? That's why they look that way. People usually see it and they go like, oh my God, that's menacing. Is that to hurt the dog? I'm like, well, we don't think it is hurt, but it's meant to mimic a dog bite, right? That's why they're made as teeth. He was so leash reactive that I had to correct them so harshly that he would spin, okay? And then he would come to a stop, and guess what he would do?
Try to bite you.
No, he'd lunge at the dog again.
Oh.
And I'd have to do it again. And he would do it again. And on the third harsh correction, he would finally stop, okay? Now, to the outside world, they're going, oh my God, what are you doing to that 8-pound Chihuahua? And I go, well, clearly it's not deterring him because I have to do it 3 times before he finally gives up the fight. Because that's the intensity of his behavior. So the saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight, but the fight in the dog, is a very, very true saying. Okay, it doesn't matter how big the dog is. If the dog's got a lot of drive and intensity, even if they're 8 pounds, there might be, if we're using physicality, quite a bit of force. Okay, now that's when I was using prong collar. I then graduated to e-collar. Okay, he's very sensitive to the e-collar. On a low output collar meant for a dog 25 pounds and under, his number was about 1820. And it goes to 100. So a fifth of the power is what he needed. And that's how I curbed the rest of his behavior, okay? So when it came to the prong collar, he took a lot. But when it came to remote collar, it took very little, okay? Now every case is different. I do get dogs that need a very high number on the e-collar. I don't know that until I start working with the dog, okay? But
Is that a shock or a vibration?
so have you ever been to a chiropractor or physical therapist?
Yes.
Have you ever had TENS therapy?
Is that
The machine that moves your muscles?
Yeah.
That's an e-collar.
okay?
Okay, so it's not a shock.
No.
That's what most people think. Shock comes
It's a stimulation.
from stimulation, exactly. And that's what we actually call it. It's called a nick or a stim. People more commonly know it as a shock because it's called an electric collar. So then you think electricity, which we think shock,
Yeah.
right? The other thing is, back to the dog training world, there's a lot of drama between trainers that only use positive reinforcement and then trainers like myself, right? They use words like shock, pain, torture because they want to deter people from seeking out trainers like myself that use these tools. But then ultimately, you get stuck with this, right? If we have no means of correction, we have no means of
Well, I see
deterring
that with hunting
behavior.
dogs. Now, I'm trying to think like,
I was gonna say a lot of hunting dogs are e-collar trained, from what I know,
But
because they're sending them out. They could be like,
no, it's that they have the thing and it's, but when they crank it, that dog,
yes, the higher the level, just like with the TENS unit,
Yeah.
the higher it is, the more uncomfortable it is, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Every case is different. I had a 20-pound Schnauzer, this was many years ago, whose number was 80 out of 127.
Oh.
And she ignored everything else. She wasn't yipping, she wasn't yelping, she wasn't rolling in pain or anything like that. You would see this very big twitch because it was 80, right? But that's the only way she would be obedient. You know, and the owner's like, Jesse, this is crazy. I'm like, right, because you look at your dog as a sweet, cuddly, 20-pound little mini Schnauzer. I was like, but she's very sturdy, that she could take a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
That's what I look at as a trainer. But people look at the temperament, they look at the personality, they go, no, it's what can the dog withstand, right? I could have 2 Rottweilers, be the same size, from the same breeder, all that stuff, and then one can be 15, 20 on the collar, and the other one could be 85 on the collar. They just take to it very differently. Okay, I don't think this guy's going to be 80, but that's just to give you an idea.
But,
okay,
yeah.
because the other thing is we have to think about is when we're addressing behaviors is the intensity and the drive, because that's what can override the collar. Okay, so override the collar means like when you say with the hunting dogs, right? Let's say they're on a collar that goes to 100. They could be at 70, but the moment they're honed in on the target, drive goes through the roof, and now they need something that's going to cut through the drive to be able to get the dog to still be obedient. But that same dog in a calmer, non-stimulating environment with no prey, number could be 20.
Yeah, right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
we're
sure.
adjusting to the situation. So that's the other thing about remote collars. It's not a fixated number. It's going to adjust according to what we're dealing with. Okay, does that all make sense?
Yes.
So, e-collar training, in my opinion, is the easiest way for little guys like this. So like earlier when I was describing my Chihuahua corrections, right? The look on your face was like, that sounds terrible, right? And it does, trust me. I got a lot of looks from it, but at the time I was only using prong collar. But then when I graduated to e-collar, I was like, oh wow, this is so much easier.
Yeah.
Because one, it's a press of a button, and it's just a stimulation, right? And he just happened to be very receptive to it. So I was like, so even though he was very stubborn to the prong, he was just super easy to work with e-collar, okay?
Yeah.
Any dog that I train over 6 months is going to be on remote collar. I use
got it.
prong collar rarely now, not because it's not a great tool, it's a very good tool. It's just that e-collar pretty much just does everything. You know, like I have a client right now who has Great Dane who's 140, 150 pounds.
Oh my God.
He's on a prong and e-collar because he's dog reactive. And she lives in, she's here in a Ukrainian village, so there's a lot of dogs in the area.
Yeah.
So the prong collar is there to compensate for the size difference, but really the e-collar does all the work for her. Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. I had another client that lived in Bucktown, and she was like 90 pounds with a 140-pound Great Dane who was also dog reactive. She was on a prong collar with an e-collar because, again, I have to compensate for that size difference. You know, you guys are lucky. You got a 5-pound little dog here, so a lot easier to handle. In worst case scenario, you can usually just pick them up.
Yes,
right?
yes. When you talk about the e-collar training, is training finite or is this a lifetime commitment?
Very good answer. A very good question. It's a lifestyle. Okay, so I don't like the word training and dog training because training implies at some point it comes to an end, right?
Right.
As a human, you can undergo training, learn that skill, and call it at whim, right?
Right.
Dogs don't do that.
Okay.
Okay, this is a relationship issue. Okay, if he feels like he's in control, he can make all the rules he wants. He can decide, I don't like how close that dog is. I don't like that you're approaching me while mom is holding me. I don't like that I hear this person walk in front of my front door.
Right.
Right? But if I'm the authority figure, I make the decisions. Right? So then I decide, no, you can't bark at that dog. No, you can't bark at that sound outside the door. No, you're not going to growl at my wife when she approaches me. And I hold you in my
But does he wear it forever?
No.
Okay.
You're not always
okay.
wearing it.
That's
Yeah,
what I was,
yeah.
okay.
But it's a lifestyle in the sense that you have to reinforce the training.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
A con to the prong collar, and in my opinion, it's the best training tool, but a con to it is that it's a third party, right? So if the dog respects the third party, which he will learn to do that, what happens when you remove the third party, right? And I teach how to correct without the collar, but the problem is you have a 5-pound Chihuahua. You guys ever watch Cesar Millan? The dog
Yeah.
whisperer?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect, okay. I use his methodology to close the gap between e-collar to no e-collar, okay? So if you watch Cesar, he does like the hand touch, sometimes the foot touch, right? It's very common for people to have what I call like a mental hump over correcting the dog themselves because they feel like they're hitting the dog, right? That's where e-collar, it removes that because you're just pressing a button and it just does the rest for you, right?
You're not affirmatively taking that like volitionary.
Correct.
It's a hard leap.
Well, look, I see this. I mean, the one thing that I mean, I've been around it for years, and I'm not saying I would ever advocate this for our little 5-pound, but I mean, there are certain hunting dogs that, I mean, the trainers that I know that have been training dogs for 50 years, I mean, it's borderline to beat the shit out of them before they ever listen.
Yeah, no, because their drive is so crazy.
Yeah.
No, I've seen those dogs too, yeah.
Luckily, you've only got a smidgen of that. So.
I don't expect that here.
But
so,
I appreciate what you're saying. I just wanted to kind of know how that works. You know, you're reinforcing it, but it's not just a constant every day, all day
you're being a parent is what I would
Yeah.
refer to it as.
Yeah.
Right? So, because that's an
Yeah.
authority figure.
Well, but it's also,
Makes
I also think from a, some of it is a, I mean, thank goodness we live in a high rise. Like, he's got to learn not to run out the front door.
I'm going to turn on the fans in case he's cold, because the fans make it a little bit chillier in here. I'm going to turn them off.
It's okay.
Maybe you need a sweater or a shirt on most days.
Well, we tried that and he hated clothes, so I don't know.
So see how he's sitting the whole time? A lot of times with these dogs as well, they won't lay down because the floor is too cold for them.
Yeah, he doesn't lay down a lot.
Yeah. But if you have like a carpet or a rug, a lot of times you'll see them lay on
He'll lay
Yeah.
in the sun.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. I know it doesn't seem like much, but I've worked with plenty of small guys.
No, it's good to.
Yeah.
We tried clothes early on, and he wasn't a fan. So
Uh-huh.
I'm happy to. He won't walk in anything, with anything on.
Oh, I see. Like, does he just?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Even with this I put this harness on 25 minutes before I came because otherwise I can't catch him. And so then I caught him and then he won't move.
I got you. Back to what you were saying.
No, just I think I see that. Even there's sometimes even the smaller hunting dogs, like I mean on the e-collar, I mean they need it or they won't.
Yeah. For me, in my opinion, all dogs should be on a remote collar because it's the best training tool, gives you the most control, right? And a lot of people let their dogs off leash in the city, even though their dogs aren't trained to be off leash.
That scares me so
because I usually train at Oz Park in the summertime.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
The number of dogs I've seen escape Oz Park is crazy. And the fact that people would come back the next day and let their dog off leash again.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
crazy.
So anyways, but that's the world.
Well, and I think
Simon,
we
come.
want him to be able.
We want him to feel comfortable and
Sit. Yeah, touch.
I don't feel like he's happy when he's doing all this
So agitated.
activity. I mean, it takes forever for him to calm down. He doesn't enjoy his walks. I'm like, he's not comfortable. So that was one of the reasons it, pushed me to reach out. We've had some success. We've clearly plateaued with the,
I mean, I'm like, we
positive
can't give him 100
reinforcement.
treats a day. Like I was
We've-
just like,
we've
this is stupid.
plateaued. And so, to your point, some of the more, I guess, tough love parenting is what we know is going to benefit him, and we just need the advice as
Like,
to how you go along
Let
with
us how to
this.
sit. Like, and he's not stupid.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between obedience and behavior, right?
Yeah.
Touch.
I'm sorry, before I forget, how'd you find us?
Funny. I took our car for a car wash, and I ended up next to Rio.
yeah.
And he had his amazing dog, Rio, with him. And I'm sorry, his first name is escaping me because we talked about
Was
it.
it Hamilton?
Yes, Hamilton, thank you.
Yeah.
So anyway,
He's the new client. He started like a month ago.
we started talking, and he was talking about what he does for a living, and I said, I have this Chihuahua, and we love him, but we're having some issues, and
You
we're
know what's
training.
funny? He told me he referred somebody to.
It's me from the car wash.
Yeah.
I had his card. He said, look up this guy. He's magic. And I said, okay. And we were just trying to finish, like we were, I wanted a breaking point, and then it just worked out. And we really do feel like we've plateaued.
Okay.
So we need that next level. And actually, before I even came today, because I wasn't sure how soon we would meet you, I purchased this. I realize it's not probably what you use, but we were moving towards, what do we do?
That's it.
Yeah.
How
So
much did you pay for this?
that was $99. So, and again, I had reached out, wasn't sure how soon I'd see you, and I thought, okay, we'll try and figure out
How long
next
ago did you
steps.
buy this?
Oh, it just arrived.
Okay.
we just
From
opened.
where?
The company, Wiggle Kingdom.
Okay. I would see what the return policy
Yeah, that's
is.
fine. Yeah. Again, we didn't know. It was just,
yeah, you're
we
good.
were looking for resources. So,
So you're not wrong in the sense that you got one specifically for his size. So the issue is I don't know this brand. This
Yeah.
seems like a newer one. And there are models of e-collars that come across more like the shock. So
Okay.
it's about the deliverance.
Okay.
The ones that I use, that's so fancy, the professional ones, right? Are
But you
feel
know-
like they're in comparison to a stim. I've been using them for 16 years.
I figured you'd have an opinion, but we weren't sure how we'd
there's
when
dogs
if it
back
happened
there.
to be the brand and it was the right size, I'm like, oh yeah, it's not a
that's
problem.
why I was like, I might as well. But
Yeah.
so I guess my point is, we are moving towards that comfortability with what you're suggesting.
Correct.
I'm still going to need a little help, but
Yeah, I can
but
see
I also know that
Simon.
he needs something, and we've done as much as we can.
Yeah.
He smells the other dogs in there.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess that leaves me at what do
what is your suggested plan? How does this work as far as next steps? I mean, he's been very well behaved with you, but you haven't entered our home and he hasn't barked at you at all.
Trust me,
So,
I've
I mean,
done-
you
I've
know.
seen it all,
So,
yeah.
I mean, you know, this is the calmest we've seen, and that's because he doesn't know where the heck he is, and car rides are terrible.
Yeah. He's
So,
and terrible because of his motion sickness.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen a vet about it?
yes, so we typically, I mean, this is only a 15-minute drive.
Yeah.
We typically give him Serenia
Okay.
when we travel, but I try not to just to,
Yeah,
because
no,
it
that
affects
makes
him the
sense.
whole day.
No, I got you.
He
Yeah,
is pretty impervious to these prescriptions because we're up to a whole pill for Serenia and he still vomits.
Okay.
And the
Is it specifically for?
Motion sickness.
that's what she said.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we didn't get it for any other reason.
Because clients in the past that have had dogs that had motion sickness, they never gave me a name, but I know they would tell me that the medication would pretty much like make the dog pass out.
No.
So when they would be driving, it was pretty much the dog just sleeping the whole time. Made him like very
He's
drowsy.
relaxed, but he doesn't get to generally
Got it.
sleeping.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
But he's a hardy little guy. I mean,
he likes to be alert.
What?
So,
he's back there.
but then the anti-anxiety medication, I don't think it does
That's
a
the other
lick.
thing. I mean, do you think we should keep him on that or get rid of
I
him?
don't. For certain things like this, I don't believe in drugs.
I get that.
Mainly because dogs don't medicate each other. Like they would correct these things, and like that's pretty much what it always comes back down to. I know sometimes clients are like, "Oh, well, then I don't want to take the dog off the medication because I'm afraid of like regression or something."
It's hard.
I'm like, but there was no change even with the medication.
I don't think so.
It's just the psychological
Right.
thing.
And
you know?
I did, yeah, I have had that conversation. But again, another reason it led us to you and thinking about what the next steps are.
And I will let you know if you tell your vet, most likely, that you're training your dog on an e-collar, they will shame you, and then
Okay.
like you'll be in trouble in their eyes. Just so
Okay.
you know, okay.
I don't,
It's a whole thing. I won't get into it, but yeah, that's just the drama that's in the dog training world. So I'll give you an example. We have a dog named Doug. I trained him back in 2020. He was a pit bull that was both dog and human aggressive. Okay. His veterinarian had him on gabapentin, fluoxetine, triazidone.
Oh, gosh.
That's a
and he
lot.
used to board with the vet as well. The vet ended up telling him they couldn't board him anymore because he was growling at the staff and they weren't comfortable with him. And then my client goes, well, that's why I came to you,
Right.
because and I'm doing everything you're telling me. I'm medicating my dog, doing all this stuff, and now you're kicking him out because you can't care for him. So then she meets with me. They came from St. Charles. They're in the consultation. She tells me he's on all these meds, and then she's like, "Do you think they're helping?" And like ironically, he starts lunging and barking at me, and I'm like, "Does it look like they're helping?"
Clearly
And
not.
she's like, "No." Then I go, "Then they're not helping, right?"
Yeah.
He's been coming to us ever since for boarding. He's off all drugs. He does great with us. He loves our staff. He doesn't really love me because I was the bad guy. in his
You were the guy
training,
that had
but he
parents.
respects me,
Yeah.
and we've had no issue
Yeah,
with him.
yeah.
You know, but they had to do all the things that their vet told them not to do.
okay.
Okay, it's an emotional.
Yeah.
It's a decision based upon emotions as
Yeah.
opposed to logic. So this here is a dog bite. It's not as big anymore because it's healed. It was 10 stitches. This is from a Great Dane. Okay, people always get surprised when I say Great Dane because like, oh, but Great Danes are gentle giants. I go, any dog with a mouth and teeth can bite.
Yeah.
Okay. He was 1 year old, unneutered. He had destroyed their home, chewed up their drywall, chewed up their doorknobs, chewed up their couch, chewed up their wooden bar. Okay. Yes. Comes to me for a 4-week board and train. I do a quick training session with him. He did phenomenal with the e-collar. He was the biggest dog I had at the time because I didn't have the space. I had a Logan Square space. I had standard wire kennels.
Okay.
So I just went to go see if he was even going to fit in my kennel that I had, the biggest one that I had. And he panicked. And under the stress of the situation, he just had some training, and I'm trying to put it, he had never been crate trained, so I'm trying to put him into a kennel. He panicked, and he looked up to bite. Well, I couldn't escape him because he's a Great Dane. It wasn't because he was aggressive, it was because he was panicking, right?
Yeah.
So I told the owner, sorry this happened. I was like, you're not in any trouble. This is why it happened. I got stitched up. He came back a few months later, trained him, no issue, right? But any other trainer would have labeled that dog as aggressive.
It's a very hard word.
Right? Because you have to understand where it's coming from. The people
Yeah.
throw the word aggressive out as a label, but dogs are not aggressive for no reason.
Right.
They're aggressive for a reason. It's like everything you're seeing here is territorial. So that's what's fueling everything, right? So people see the problem, they see the aggression.
Sure.
I see the root of it. I go, once
Yeah.
we address the root, we don't see the symptom, right? Now, there's some things that we can change, to be realistic with you. For example, if he's holding Simon and you approach, for whatever reason, Simon doesn't like that situation. I cannot make him like the situation, okay? Now, could we correct him growling? Yes. Could we correct him growling and then you also still be able to pet him? Technically, yes, but then there's risk there.
Yeah.
Because then if he's like, you know what, you've pet me 100 times, you've stressed me out 100 times with the situation.
Yeah.
On the 101st time, I'm
This
gonna
is
bite
it.
now. Exactly, right?
Yeah.
But you being able to walk past dogs in peace, not a problem. You be able to have guests come over, not a
That's a
problem.
big one.
Noises.
Subduing the noise barking, not
Yeah.
a problem. Okay,
Simon,
those are all very realistic
That's,
things.
and we don't need perfect. We just need a
we
little
want him to
bit more comfortable for all of us, including Simon.
Yeah.
So those are all in the wheelhouse. We don't have expectations, I think, that are.
I mean, he still is an animal. I mean, it's like
Yeah, it's okay.
It's like these big exotic animals that like these people raise them, and then one day something like you're talking about happens, and they eat them.
Yeah, no, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no, we are. I think our expectations are aligned with what you just mentioned. He's still going to be a dog. He's going to bark in certain situations. We just want to make sure we're doing right by him and also making it the most comfortable we can.
Yeah.
So that's really our goal.
You got
And
a dog to enjoy, dog, not because
yeah, we
you
want him to
just
enjoy
stressed
us,
him out.
and
Yeah.
really, there are
Simon?
great moments, but it has to be really isolated, and so not to have a grandparent come over and have 2 hours of like, I mean, he stares at my father.
Yeah, but that is interesting.
My father's 6'6".
There's some reason like
And
he
he
just
just-
does not like her father.
It's horrible.
Yeah, that's just territorial. That's suspicion.
And he's a big guy, and there's just
Yeah.
like a different feeling. He doesn't, I mean, he's fine with my mother at a certain point. But anyway, it doesn't help anybody. So if we can just, take the edge off a little bit here so that we feel more confident that we're working with him the best way possible, that's what we'd like to do. So I've heard you mention a couple times that you've done your own on-site training, and then it sounds like there's at-home training. Like, how does this all work together?
Yeah.
And now that you've met Simon and heard our
Yeah.
story.
So
Day.
you learn the most through in person.
Yeah.
Because I train you to train your dog.
Yeah,
The
okay.
pro is you learn a ton. The con is it just takes longer.
Okay.
Right? Because your dog's training is your training, right? But it's everything that I've done. It's very logical. It's very
Okay.
common sense based. Okay. It's just the emotional aspect that usually gets people, right? So like I said, for Simon, let's say for his reactivity, let's say obedience-wise, everything's great because we do have to use obedience as a foundation to go to their behavior. But maybe his reactivity, like my Chihuahua, is up there, right? Now my Chihuahua is susceptible to 20. He could be 60, right? And if you're not willing to do 60 to stop the behavior, then we will not stop the behavior. And that's the emotional component,
Okay.
right? Because people go like, oh, 5-pound Chihuahua, I feel like I'm hurting him. I go, right, but you have to understand dogs bite each other. The e-collar will never cause the level of harm a bite would,
Yeah.
but gets to as close to the intensity as a bite,
Okay.
right? Without actually harming the dog.
Yeah.
And trust me, I've had some crazy cases in my 16 years of training dogs, okay?
Yeah.
But that's what the most that people struggle with. Is just that emotional aspect of like, oh, I have to go high. So if I come back and I'm like, how's this reactivity this week? And you're like, we're working on it. The first thing I'm gonna ask you is, what's your number?
Okay.
And if it's like, oh, we're at 30, I'm like, but 30's not 60, and until you hit that number, expect not to make progress. So think of it this way.
So you have numbers as markers? Is that?
Yeah,
is that?
reference points.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
we learn all that stuff through the training.
Okay. It's particular. So
Yes.
it's a particular. Okay.
Yeah,
Because you.
So with the stim, they
Got it.
start low, they work their way up.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
We do the same thing with the
Okay.
e-collar
So
training.
it's okay. I get it now.
I don't
Okay.
just come in at 100.
You're not like okay. In
Exactly.
a week you need to be at. Okay. I got it. Okay.
Everything's over the course of time.
Okay.
I've learned that I have to work with the human,
Yeah.
right?
That's
like if
fair.
I push someone too much too soon, and then they get uncomfortable, now we make no progress because they're discouraged, right?
Yeah.
So I tell everybody, take your time, but just know until you get there, it's not going to change anything because I know that's what your dog needs, right? But we do little by little by little. In person you learn more. Con is it just takes longer. We can do for example, for the release reactivity, the first thing we need to teach is heel. Okay. Have you covered heel already with your
No.
current trainer? Okay.
No.
So leash pulling, leash reactivity, two most common things I deal with, right? So the first thing I'm going to teach in my class is heel, because it fixes and addresses problems that everybody wants to
Okay.
correct, right? And also, it's our foundation for everything. So e-collar is a stressor because it's an uncomfortable feeling, right? So do expect him to look stressed during the training. It is normal. In order for him to get over the stress, he needs repeated and continuous exposure. Most people walk their dogs 3 times a day, 7 days a week in the city. I know he doesn't potty outside, but that's going to have to become walks are going to become a day of his a part of his routine. Okay. So that's 3 times a day,
3 times a day?
7 days a week that we have to
Okay.
practice this exercise. Now we can
Okay.
adjust a little bit.
Okay.
Okay. But ideally, we need routine structure.
I get it. Yeah.
Okay.
This is parenting. Oh God.
Okay.
This is,
So
yeah. Okay.
Simon, you're going to pause.
that's what also gives me an idea of progress.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're like, hey, Jesse, 80% of his reactivity is gone, right? From one class to the next class. I go, great. What we did in that first class addressed 80% of that reactivity. So that last 20%, I have to figure it out. Usually it's just playing with the number, okay? So first 2 classes are always heel. Third class is where we start to deviate a little bit, right? So if you're like, hey, his reactivity is really good, but we still, like, if the dog's 5 feet away, he'll still lunge and bark. Then I go, okay, let's bring a dog, and let's start to press that threshold. And we do controlled context where we're gonna push the problem.
Okay.
Okay? Let's say we do that, you come back class 4, like, hey, Jesse, reactivity is really good. We pass by dogs a foot away, no problem. I go, great. That should we just continue with that? Do
Yeah.
what you're doing,
Stay the
right?
course and
Exactly.
yeah.
The next thing could be, how do we have guests come over?
Yeah.
Right? That's a separate thing.
Okay.
It was that, the barking around the house. So the barking around the home, we keep an eye on that. There is possibility that just the routine structure of walking him in heel and correcting the reactivity starts to subdue the barking in the home.
Okay.
Okay. So, question?
Well, I was just going to say, like, the one thing that I'm just curious about is, at his size, like, he's never going to walk in February outside.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
With
we
the
get a
cold.
little limited.
So there's going to be a separate thing for that.
Okay.
But yes, my dog's from Texas. In the wintertime, they hibernate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we come up
But
with
I'm
a
sure
different
there's
type of
other.
time. Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
To stimulate
Good
it.
question.
Okay.
So walking a dog in a structured heel, meaning walking with you calm, passive, right, starts to impact them.
Okay.
Right. You said it earlier.
Caesar talks about that.
yes. That it's not good for him to be in this arousal state. Just
No.
like with humans, it's not good to be constantly like this,
Right.
right? Is once he learns that he can relax, he starts to opt for relaxation more and more. So in the home, if he starts to relax and become more passive, that's actually what starts to bring down the barking. Right now, it sounds like he's in constant vigilance,
He is.
alert mode.
100%.
Everyone has said that.
It's like
Agreed.
even if he's, I would say, here's the big difference, and I've really noticed this because I haven't been, like, if he's home alone, he's sleeping on the couch, chill. The second we're in the space too, he's staring at the door,
Yep.
like looking around.
Because you give him something to protect.
Yeah.
This poor little guy's on watch all the time. He's
Except-
exhausted.
Although the only other thing though, except at night,
This dog goes to sleep like a
He-
log.
9:30,
So you can sleep.
he goes in and he goes under the covers on our bed and he is done until the morning.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be just because the constant arousal, like all day,
I think so.
possibility.
Yeah.
The bright side is that you just get to sleep without barking, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I do get clients whose dogs are vigilant through the night.
Well,
No. I mean,
unless it's really loud.
Unless it's really loud. Yeah.
But yes. So
Now, is there
Which
any,
makes sense.
one other question, like, is there, does this type of training change personality at all?
No,
Okay.
no.
So it's not like he's just going to be,
No, it's the same dog, just with discipline.
got it.
So
Okay.
here's an example. I have a buddy of mine. I've known him since sophomore year of high school. We used to go, like, when, college, go to cater parties and all that stuff, right? Party, have fun. Then he went to the military. And then he came back. He's still the fun guy, but when he has something to do, like a house project, like all that military, like, discipline that he got,
The focus.
kicks in and he just gets it done.
Yeah.
Right? But still the same personality, if that makes sense, right? So same thing for dogs. I don't want to create a robot, right? We want the dog, but we also don't want the
He wants you.
behaviors.
That's pretty funny. He is.
Because I'm ignoring him. I'm not putting any kind of social pressure on him, which is a lot of. If he's actually relaxed a bit more, I don't know if you've
Yeah.
noticed. His
Oh yeah.
shaking has come down
It takes
a bit.
some
Yeah.
time, but
Yeah.
That's what I mean. He
But he's like standing there going like, what's going on?
It's
Why isn't
better
this guy,
outside of our
why
house.
isn't this guy petting me?
Yeah. And by the way, me not petting him
Yeah.
asserts me as a leader.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I'm never petting you again.
Okay, that's fine.
Because people don't see it that way.
I know. Well,
Like-
you get a 5-pound cute dog, it's hard.
So if he
Okay.
jumped on me, right, and he's saying, acknowledge me, if I pet him, he literally just told me what to do.
Yeah.
But we don't see it that way, right? We see it as this is a cute 5-pound dog and he wants my attention, right? But the underlying communication is now he's established that I'm a subordinate because I did what he told me to do. Right? This happens as young as 3 to 4 weeks in the litter of puppies.
Yeah.
So when people pick up that 2-month-old cute puppy, and I'm sure he was a tiny little guy when he was 3 to 4 months, right? We're doing a lot of stuff that's creating a relationship that then in the future creates
Yeah.
problems like this. You know, it happens all the time. It's fairly standard.
Well, I was just gonna say,
the
the good thing is it sounds like he's not really outside of the norm
definitely.
as far as trying to address this. It also sounds like he's not too old.
No. I've trained dogs as old as 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
So that was it. I'm
yeah,
like, oh
that's-
no,
that's
you
a
know.
myth.
Okay. Yeah. Sometimes you hear that. So here's one of the things as you've described some of the coursework.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting ready to leave for a month. So I want to make
Oh, your
sure.
phone?
Where did I put my phone?
Oh, it's here.
I know it fell over
It's here.
there.
It's here. I want to make sure that you know, we don't ruin anything in anticipation of starting up because we leave next week. So
I see.
we would have to really look at the summer is really difficult for us, but
Okay.
we'd have to look at how you structure.
So you have
know.
a couple of options here.
Yeah.
So there was the in-person, right?
Yeah.
We also do board and trains.
Okay.
So the proto board and train is I get more done in a short amount of time. Condo board and train is mostly likely not going to see a lot of the behaviors that you're dealing with. Okay. Like
Yeah.
activity and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also, the training is attached to us, and we have to always transfer the training to the owner.
Yeah.
For the board and trains, I do film everything that I teach, like the
Sure.
first lesson of, and
And
I
then-
send them to you so that you understand what's going on. You also get follow-ups with the board and trains.
Okay.
Okay. Those follow-ups can be used to close the gap on anything that may have not have transferred from the videos, but then also cover things that are not covered in the videos. Right? So if you're like, hey Jesse, his obedience is phenomenal. We're doing everything like you taught us in the videos. It's great. But we need to address this like barking when people come over. Right? Then you can book an in-home
Okay.
follow-up, right?
Okay.
And that comes with the program.
Got it. Okay.
There are upcharges for the in-homes. If we meet here, no charge. or
Yeah,
if
that
I'm at the
makes
park, no
sense. Yeah,
charge.
it's all different.
Correct,
Yeah.
Yes, but that's another possibility to you.
I know the personal is really important. I mean, we're talking about making sure it's continuous, right? I mean, you don't want to start for 2 weeks and then skip 2 weeks and come back, or
That technically doesn't matter.
No?
What
Okay,
matters is
okay.
consistency,
okay.
right? So
Okay.
if you're gone for 2 weeks, and like let's say it's with Ross's mom, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And he gets zero training, when you come back, it's tied to you.
Okay. Okay.
So if you do it,
So,
right?
okay.
So with the in-person, I'm not too worried about that.
Okay.
Now, if it's like we have a really busy life and trying to set time aside for training, right?
Yeah.
Then that's where board and trains come into play.
Yeah.
There's still going to be effort, right? But he's coming with all the foundation that you would need.
Yeah.
And now it's just catching you up to the training and then you learning how to address the behavioral
Okay.
things. Okay.
Okay.
Both were options for you.
Okay. Okay. What do you think that usually looks like? I mean, I'm sure every dog is different to some degree, but are you looking at 4 to 6 weeks where you're coming to see you? Are you looking at?
For like the in-person?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay, so let me, so we have 2 on heel that has to happen.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what I was. Yeah.
1 on reactivity, which is a variable. 1 on people entering the home. 1 on just general behavior, which is like the
Okay.
excessive vision,
Yeah.
barking and stuff like the things that you want to just correct that pop up, right?
Sure.
We would review place.
Okay.
So my idea of place is he goes there, he's not going to move for 2 to 3 hours. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, we're not there.
Yeah.
This is no,
And it
no.
sounds like, wow, that's going to take a lot of work. It is not. It is
Okay.
e-collar. Remember, when you have the ability to correct what you don't want, that's what
Right.
expedites
Okay.
things.
Yeah, we're
okay?
not. We're
I'd also suggest covering recall,
okay.
which is common called. You may think to yourself, well, we wouldn't let this dog off leash, right? But as he makes progress and like his world starts to open, like what you're able to do with him starts to open up.
Okay.
I get a lot of people that their ceiling is down here, but e-collar ceiling is all the way up here.
Okay.
So we cover so much more than they actually anticipated.
Okay.
So that put us at class 7.
Okay.
Like even these little guys, like my 8-pound Chihuahua is off leash trained. Like he heels off leash, he can be off leash at the park, chasing squirrels, all that stuff, which is the next thing, right?
It sounds amazing. If I see one more lost dog on next door, I can't. My heart breaks every time.
Well, that's a dog that doesn't have recall.
Well, and that's but it's
Yeah, I want recall. That would be even as a safety thing.
the safety drives me. I just oh my god. I just
Yes.
okay. Okay. Okay, so you got, okay, so let's just say there's a 6 to 8. I mean, you're
so
doing.
we do 3, 6, 9, and 12-week programs.
Oh, okay.
I would put you at minimum at a 9.
Okay.
If you, that gives us plenty of time to cover all what I just
Okay.
noted. You're not going to waste the class.
Okay.
Okay.
And
trust me.
do you have a finite amount of time to do the 9? Okay.
So every case is different.
Yeah.
But like, let's say my 12 class program. That's a client that goes, I want my dog fully off leash trained, and there might be some behavioral stuff.
So at least 9 is what you're
But
doing.
what they'll do is, at a certain point, you have a lot of work, right? That just kind of stacks. And I'll say, at this point, you have everything that is necessary. Go
You gotta
and
go.
practice for a month or so, and then come back when you're ready for the next step.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Because I was gonna say like, wow, it
If
could
it's
be
a
a little.
shorter, like 6-week program, it's back to back
Yeah.
because it's all the foundation.
Okay.
Once we get the advanced stuff, there'll come a point where I'll say, I advise you to have a break here.
Like, just keep
go
go-
off and practice. Okay.
Okay.
Now let's say we're like 4 classes in, and you've had a really busy week and you've not done anything.
Yeah.
Right. As long as we have a 48-hour heads up, and you tell Tina like, hey Tina, it's been hectic. We didn't do anything. Can we just push back?
Can we push a little bit more? Okay.
It's not a big deal.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as we give you guys notice, which
Exactly.
is totally fair.
Because it happens where people think they have to show up,
It-
and I'm like, why are we here?
Yes, everybody wants to be respectful of time, so
Yeah.
I appreciate you fronting that just because you don't want to,
Yes,
can't really
I
fake
get
this.
it. Yes, I
So-
understand we have our lives and stuff like that.
Okay.
E-collar training doesn't require you to become a trainer.
Okay.
Okay, you train your dog as you live your life with your dog. Okay,
Okay.
there will be some things like recall that you have to set time aside for and go to the park and let them run around and practice, right? Like that's going to happen. But a majority of it is like as you live your life with your dog.
Okay.
So that's what makes it like still feasible for people, where it's not like I have to dedicate
Yeah.
time all the time. I go, no, like it's literally like when you're going to walk your dog, that's when you're training.
Does this have to be the same person consistently? I mean, how does that work in a household?
Ideally, if it's like the 2 of you,
Yeah.
ideally we want the 2 of you as much as possible. Okay?
Got it.
I do record the lessons, and that's the.
So someone can.
Yes, so I send the links so like how
Okay.
to say we keep everybody on the same page.
Sure.
Definitely when it comes to the leash walking classes, when it comes to the behavior classes, that's where you want to have both there.
Okay.
It helps a lot with disagreements.
Sure.
Okay, I've worked with plenty of couple where like Jesse said this, no, Jesse said
Yeah.
that.
No,
I'm
it's just
like,
hard,
"Fine."
and it's hard to take it all in, and
Which is also why I film it.
yeah, and to be a unit, I mean, I've learned enough at this point that it's just hard to not
But
have.
there'll be some classes where if you ask
It's
me
okay
like,
to
hey
cover.
Jesse, if it's just me, is that okay? Well, yeah, it's not a problem.
Okay.
Or I'll just take a tangent and go, we'll cover something different
You can
that doesn't matter,
maneuver around it.
and then we can do something else.
Okay,
Yes, yes.
cool. That's a great answer, just so we have some
Yeah.
flexibility.
The first class is always the cemented, like it has to be heel, and then after that, like I can deviate.
You can
a
move
little bit.
around a little bit.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's not a
okay.
problem.
And how is your schedule just in general?
So right now it's kind of weird because we're going from like the cold season, so it's like a lot of board and trains going into my in-persons.
Yeah.
Only thing is I'm only at Oz Park on the weekends, and we're gonna most likely start that after this coming weekend because I'm gonna be out of town.
Okay.
If it's inclement weather or rainy weather, whatever, it floods over there and it gets super muddy. So I just tell clients we move back over here
Okay.
for the raininess, because then if I try to push people back, my schedule gets bogged down
Sure.
because I just keep pushing people back.
Yeah.
So we just relocate to here.
Okay.
In-homes obviously don't matter because I'm traveling to you if we
Yeah.
can in-home.
Yeah.
And I get clients to do a blend. Well, they'll do the in-persons like here at the
Yeah.
Oz, and then only the things that need to be done in-home, that like the people coming
Yeah.
in or whatever.
Yeah,
they'll
okay.
schedule.
That's an interesting, especially because we're in Kinsey Park. It's a gated community, and there's a river walk, so dogs are kind of close. Like it's, it could be interesting to just kind of get our bearings
Yeah.
there and know that we kind of
So
got
for
that
like
down.
Rio, actually, they're in Colorado right now. I just emailed the other day. The first 2 were here, and the third one they had me come over to their
Yeah,
high-rise.
yeah.
And then Rio did.
That might be a good,
Yeah.
that might be a good fit for us. Just,
So when do we think we want to start this?
well, that's
That's
yeah.
So that you would talk with Tina.
And, okay.
Yeah, I don't talk about my schedule because.
Right, yeah,
I've
you don't know,
learned-
you just show up, I'm
Exactly,
sure.
Exactly, yeah. I just,
the-
I don't know.
but I just
think
mean
we're
with
talking
us
about-
going away.
Yeah, because we leave for a month.
What day do you leave?
Well, I mean,
I mean, we leave.
yeah, we leave next week. I mean,
Well, no,
Okay.
no, we leave the
Yeah,
week
but-
after.
it's, I mean, we could try to,
Because if I saw you next week, we're only getting a class in, and then you're gone.
yes.
So that's what I'm saying. Is like
Maybe that's not-
Is it better to?
Yeah.
Because we'd be back the first week of in July, but I don't want to, I mean, if we do the heel class and then we're gone for a month, is that just extra
Your prob-
reinforcement
well,
or?
My only concern would be, I don't worry about him, is the human forgetting.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's
But I guess,
not.
but the only question I would have is, so just throwing this out there, where we're going for a month, the ability to walk him a lot is there.
Oh, I
There
see.
will be a lot
Yeah.
of dogs.
We're gonna be on the East Coast in a neighborhood.
And so is there value in maybe trying to figure out a
If he's
class or
going
two?
with you, then the answer
Oh
is
yeah,
yes.
he's going with.
Yeah.
Oh, he goes
then-
with,
Then
yeah.
we should probably try to get
Okay,
in.
we could
before.
try, I can work with Tina and just see what we can do.
Yeah, so what you would do, so I'm gone the 29th to the 31st,
Okay,
okay? Is if you email her, and I email her as well,
sure.
is you go, we're leaving by this date,
Yeah,
right? We'd like to get in one class, we could try to squeeze in two, because in the second one, I can show you how to deal with reactivity.
okay.
And then you have a month to practice that.
That might be a good idea, because there's a plenty of time there,
Yeah,
Simon.
there's plenty of time there,
And
but
this is observation, so yeah, so now the nose puff, yeah, there's a growl, okay? But the tail is down, he's not hyper alert right now. Just, yeah, so there we go, still observation. Yeah.
You're embarrassing.
it is, it's embarrassing,
I
sorry.
know, she's got two little guys like this, I think they're a little smaller. Yeah,
No.
I just say.
Then you know our plight.
Yeah.
All right, well, I will do that. My hope would be that that works for us, but Fiona gets, our daughter's out of school. I will do my best.
Oh,
But
in regards to
work
the
on it.
collar, sorry, before.
yeah,
I forget.
yes, and then tell us what we need to do.
So I have the one that he needs.
Okay.
It's called the Mini.
Okay.
My only issue with, I can show you, I'll
Yeah.
grab it.
Did I read that it's around the 5-pound mark or something?
For the Mini?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You are embarrassing.
Actually, that was good for
But like, it's fine, like if the dog's like, for dogs as small as 7 pounds, which doesn't matter. Like he could actually have the collar that's meant for a Rottweiler, because it just means more from less. His number would
Okay.
just be really
Lower,
ridiculously
yeah,
low.
you just
Exactly.
adjust. It's not like
it's
this.
really the size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you ready for that? Oh,
So
yeah.
the issue with dogs this small, okay, is their necks are so small, is getting consistency with contact, okay? So these are the contacts here. They're like a plastic contact. If we're struggling with consistency on the contact, I would suggest upgrading him. The collar up is just a wee bit bigger. We would most likely have to swap out, they have like two probes, the probes with different probes to ensure contact, okay? The issue is the neck is so thin that sometimes the neck falls between the probes,
Okay.
okay? But that's not anything that we would know until we actually get started, okay?
Okay.
But this is the one I would actually have him beyond. This is the one that's meant for a dog like his size. But
There's-
then if you notice any issues like that, then we would simply just swap out and then charge the difference.
To get the size-wise correct.
Exactly.
And there's no trachea issues? I mean, just thinking about Chihuahuas and, okay.
No, I've trained dogs that have collapsed tracheas on the
Yeah,
collar.
okay.
It's about the pressure. This is just a muscle stimulator. And if I have a dog with trachea issues, typically we'll have them like on a harness like this, and then the e-collar.
Do they make shock collars like that? 'Cause I feel like the hunting dogs, it's a shock. I mean, when they hit that thing, I mean, I've
I mean,
seen,
if-
I've
if
seen
the
labs come off
intensity's-
the ground.
If the intensity is up there, it's the contraction is very high. And earlier, if they're using, I doubt that they are, but if they're using a cheaper e-collar model, those come across as shocking. It's the deliverance of the stem.
Yeah.
It is different.
Stim
Yeah.
shock.
Yes.
That's,
I would say that's plastic. It's like that one. It's metal. Like the ones I see on the hunting dogs are two metal probes.
Correct. The other ones that I have are metal
Yeah.
probes as well. But if you felt them, like I actually did a video where I feel a TENS unit and a e-collar side by side, and they feel very much identical. It's just the way it's delivered is different because the TENS unit is continuous pulsating, whereas e-collar it's momentary. There is a continuous function, but really 99.99% of the time I'm using the NIC function, which is a pre-timed sensation, and it's literally like that quick.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
It's funny. He's like guarding you.
No, he's just
Yeah, but he's
Observant.
normally doesn't get close to that person that much.
He's just doing his thing.
Simon, sit.
Other questions?
I think that, I mean, I'm assuming Tina can give us kind of the
Yes.
lowdown on
So
the
if you wanna
pricing and all that
expedite the
kind of stuff.
process,
Yes, I
what you
think
can
we might
do
need to.
is you can email her.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Tina,
I'll do
sign
that
this
now.
up. We want the 9 or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
She will give you the pricing.
yeah.
She'll send over the contract, but then also if you sent her, again, the deadline that we need to get a class in by.
Yeah, oh,
right?
yeah.
and then your availability.
Yeah.
That's what speed things
That-
up. 'Cause
okay.
that's what she's going to ask
Yeah.
for. So if she already has everything
Got
she
it.
needs.
Yep.
So it'd be what you want,
Yeah.
your deadline
Sure.
for when you leave, and then your availability.
Okay.
And then she'll turn to me, and I'll tell her like, it's important to get
See
stuff
what
out
you
as
can
quickly as
do. Yeah,
possible.
we appreciate that. And then I should tell her the 9-week at this point, or should I?
Yeah,
Okay.
unless, so if you did 12, with the 12, you're getting a fully off-leash trained dog. I know it seems like,
All right,
wow,
well-
that's crazy, but like,
We'll
yes.
we'll talk about that. That might not be,
Okay.
especially these guys escaping and stuff.
Yes,
That's
so,
the thing.
if
So,
you go
okay.
up front, it is cheaper per class. If you do 9 and then add 3, it's just a little bit more expensive. We don't prorate programs, so
Okay.
just FYI.
As long as she gives me the menu, and then I know generally
Yes,
where
I'll
we're
tell her
coming in.
to do the 9
Like
and
that's
12
the,
for
yeah,
you.
we're not looking at anything else. And then I'm guessing it would be that hybrid. So I'll just make sure we talk with her about all that and whatever. So,
Yes.
all right. Well, I think we have a game plan. We really appreciate your time today. He is really cute and he's a nice dog. We just want him to be better.
Yeah, no, I get it. You want to have a nice, you want to enjoy like having a
I'm
dog.
sure you hear that all the time, but
Yeah.
it makes-
I get clients who are like, walking their dog is like, gets them super anxious.
It
They don't
does.
I had clients walk 23 floors because they can't take the elevator because of their dog.
it's really crazy. So we really do look forward to him being a little bit more
Ready to be trained?
reasonable. All right, we're gonna get back in the car, Simon. I know you're gonna love that. So
And if there's any questions you may have forgotten to ask,
And
you can just let
and
me
you know, just
Yeah.
this leash is fine for him, right? I mean, the
Yeah,
other
yeah.
trainer
The
had this
harness.
double leash
No, no,
on it and
no.
all this bullshit. Like that's
well,
fine,
she
right?
recommended because this
goes in the
pulls
front?
in the
front
front.
clip, yeah.
Yeah.
You're fine. It doesn't really matter. So technically speaking, e-collar and harness don't work well together.
Okay.
It's fine to use with these little guys, but what happens is a dog has a thing called opposition reflex, which is when they feel tension, they want to go against it.
Yeah,
It
that's what
also
she was-
exacerbates leash reactivity. Okay, but again, it's very different when you have remote collar.
Okay.
If he was a 20-pound dog or 25-pound dog, I would say just switch to a flat collar. But the
Okay.
fact that he's 5 pounds kind of lets you get away with using a harness, even though technically like it's a no-no. Okay, but this is fine.
But that's fine. We don't need
All
to
right,
screw
well,
around with this, right?
I was able to turn him more easily when I was trying to get him away from the dog.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna have to do that.
Okay.
Right, Simon?
All right. Well, we have a game plan. Really appreciate your time.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
so
The mics
much.
you can just leave on the chairs.
Yes.
And then any questions you may have forgotten to ask, you can send
Yeah.
Tina. If they pertain to me, she emails me. I send her back the answer.
Yeah, she sounds like your right hand. I see now.
She's my mom. Yeah.
She's more than that then. All right.
Yeah, she's in Texas.
Takes a bit. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, yeah.